Warning: the video you are about to watch is very lengthy and contains spoilers. What you all are about to see are the arcane techniques of Bloodborne, their locations, and my interpretation of proper use in player versus player combat. If you do not wish to watch the length in its entirety, my dear scholar, then check the description below. You will find timestamps to all of them and click the one you desire. For the rest of you, kick back, relax, and enjoy the show. Hello everybody, and welcome. As stated, this is a lengthy video, and timestamps will be in the description below. But without further ado, let's move on to our first arcane technique. The first arcane technique in this showcase is the Old Hunter's Bone. The Old Hunter's Bone requires 15 arcane, 5 quicksilver bullets, and has no scaling. Note that the sheet I am reading off of is post-patch. So what you're seeing in the video is the arcane techniques as they first came out, pre-patch. If you see any differences, like I said, these are post-patch. Now, the Old Hunter's Bone, essentially, it increases your speed and agility. The ability to dodge faster, move faster, swing faster, and have higher iframes. You will find this arcane technique in the Old Hunter's Workshop in Cathedral Ward. Once you have that door open after defeating Bloodstarved Beast, you'll head up this elevator and deal with 2 enemies. One of them, an old man in a wheelchair, easily disposed of, and the second one, a beast man with a cutlass, again, easily disposed of. When you reach this tower, you will turn right and walk off. When you circle around, you will come to a very dark room, which has many ways down. The way down you need to go is right here. Tread carefully though. Following these ropes down is your path, but it is also very dangerous. I suggest a plunging attack and making sure you have high vitality. Once you reach this platform safely, you will come to these double doors. Opening these double doors will lead to the abandoned old workshop. The abandoned old workshop is the real-life equivalent to the Hunter's Dream, essentially what it is based off of. Here you will find many items, a 1/3 umbilical cord, hair ornament, the doll's clothes, and most importantly, the Hunter's Bone, which will be at this grave. Now that you know its location, we will head into the Chalice dungeons, and I will show you how to use this technique effectively in PvP. Here in the Chalice Dungeon, I will now show you how to effectively use the Old Hunter's Bone in a PvP fight. Your best bet for using this is to use it right off rip. Consume it, and enjoy the speed. It lasts 20 seconds, which may not seem like a lot, but in Bloodborne's fast-paced action, 20 seconds is quite a while. Our next arcane technique is the Tiny Tonitrus. The Tiny Tonitrus requires 25 arcane, 6 quicksilver bullets, and has an S scaling in arcane. Now the Tiny Tonitrus is a arcane technique version of the actual weapon in-game, the tonitrus, which is an electrified mace. This arcane technique is great for catching people who try to run away from you after taking a certain amount of damage. If they choose not to strafe and heal and try to run and heal, this is your best bet to catch them. It discharges a large amount of lightning, similar to that of Fire Snake from Dark Souls 2, minus the tracking. To find this arcane technique, you will have to go to the Yargarhul Unseen Village. I will be showing you how to get this technique from the second lamp in that area, the chapel. From the chapel, you are going to run out here with all of the mad women on the steps. I suggest triggering Cthulhu's laser as I did. You will run up the stairs and hug the left. You will see a hole, you'll see a broken piece of the fence, or gate, whichever, and you go down it. From here, you will enter this dark room. I suggest killing the Bell Maiden first, so that way you don't have to deal with any problems, as well as this big brute. After killing the brute, you will find this opening and jump down. On this body will be the Upper Cathedral Ward key, which leads to another arcane technique. But that's for later. For now, kill this man, and don't be like me. Don't forget about the old man in the frickin' wheelchair. Dispose of him too, so he don't get shot in the back like I did. Now that he's disposed of, you will come over here, and in this chest will be the tiny tonitrus. Now that you know its location, let's head into the Chalice Dungeon so I can show you how to use it in a PvP scenario. Here in the Chalice Dungeon, I will show you how to use the tiny tonitrus. The best way to use this arcane technique is to cause damage and make your opponents flee. And as they're running, you use the tiny tonitrus to catch them in mid-run. Now, its damage output is not that great, so I suggest using this only if you feel like being fancy. Our next arcane technique on the list is the empty phantasm shell. The empty phantasm shell requires 15 arcane, 3 quicksilver bullets to use, and has 0 scaling in arcane. It is essentially great magic weapon from Dark Souls 2. It is a slug that will buff your weapon with the power of Arcane. It is quite nice, though I do not see much of a damage boost. I guess you could see a greater damage boost if you were to equip it to an arcane weapon. Here is a small demonstration. Now, to find this arcane technique, you will need to go to Byrgenwerth. Byrgenwerth is after the Forbidden Forest and the Shadows of Yharnam. I will now show you where to find this arcane technique. From here, if you have already defeated Rom, you will go through the opening in this gate. If not, it's the same route all the way around. You'll come around here, up the staircase. There's an NPC here, so if this is your first time here, kill the NPC before proceeding. You will come to this ladder, in which, well, self-explanatory, you'll climb up the damn ladder. There is a key up here which will lead to the boss fight, Rom the Vacuous Spider, as well as a chest at the top. But be warned, there is an enemy here that will attempt to stop you. From here, you will find this chest with the empty phantasm shell inside. Now that you know its location, I will see you in the Chalice Dungeon to demonstrate it. The empty phantasm shell, like the old hunter's bone, should be used before a fight. Simply buff your weapon and fight. The damage output is not that much greater. On a plus 10 threaded cane, I went from doing about 100 damage to 120. Or 130. It's not that much of a boost, but as I said, maybe if you put arcane gems on a weapon and make the weapon do arcane damage, you'll have a much higher output. I will have to test that in further videos. But until then, let us move on to our next arcane technique. The next arcane technique is the Executioner's Gloves. The Executioner's Gloves are gloves of an executioner who was killed, and I cannot remember the full story behind them, but they belong to an executioner, a treasure of Canehurst. Now, For this arcane technique, you are going to need 20 arcane. It will cost 3 quicksilver bullets and has an S scaling in arcane. What this does is it releases the angry spirits of executioners trapped inside. It is essentially like a miniature pursuers, which actually hits for quite a lot of damage if you can combo it right. Now, as I said, this arcane technique is located in Canehurst. If you do not know how to access Canehurst, I suggest looking up how to do that on YouTube, since you're already freaking here. But until then, until you decide to do that, I will now show you where to find this arcane technique. I have sped up the video, so I suggest you pay attention. Now that we are in the the Chalice dungeons, I want to show you how to use the Executioner's gloves. Essentially, taking a direct hit can do great amounts of damage. It is best to use them in a mid combo or before as bait, like so. They are hard hitting and well worth it if you can use them right. Now, we will move on to our next arcane technique. Up next is the Beast Roar, a popular one amongst hunters. The Beast Roar is essentially force from Dark Souls. It allows you to clear the area if you are feeling overwhelmed and can actually repel projectiles. Now, the Beast Roar itself requires 15 arcane to use, 2 quicksilver bullets, and has no arcane scaling. This arcane technique is very useful in the hands of the right person. To find this arcane technique, you will have to venture into the Forbidden Woods. It is fairly hidden if you do not explore much of the area. But, alas, I will show you how to get it. Now, I have sped up the video, as always, because it is a long trek. I suggest you pay attention to make sure you do not lose your footing. Once you've reached here, it will be in this shack. Be careful, because there is a snatcher that lurks in wait if you have not already killed him. You will circle around either direction, and inside this shack, you will find a corpse to the right with the arcane technique, Beast Roar. Now, I will see you in the Chalice Dungeons, so I may show you how to use this in PvP, as well as deflecting projectiles. Welcome. Now that we are here, as I said, this is rather simple. This arcane technique is great for being used if you are taking heavy damage and feeling overwhelmed. You could throw your opponents back with a great force, allowing you to backstep and heal, or take this time to regain your footing and go on the attack. Now, I will demonstrate how the Beast Roar can deflect projectiles. The projectile I will be deflecting is cannon fire. That's not a cannon. That's not a cannon. Okay, here we go. Now, the first shot I do not perfect, but I still deflect enough of it. I do not stagger, I do not fall. Now, the second shot is perfect. See? Deflected cannon fire. It is a high risk, high reward, so use it with caution. Moving on. We will now move on to our next arcane technique. The next arcane technique is the Augur of Ebretias. The Augur of Ebretias, otherwise known as the tentacle porn technique, I understand why, but can be found in the lecture building. The Augur of Ebretias costs 15 arcane. It requires 15 arcane, costs 1 quicksilver bullet, and has an S scaling in Arcane. It is actually one of the more useful ones. It can catch your opponents off guard, and it does a considerable amount of damage if you have 40 Arcane. I can hit upwards of about 130 with this Arcane technique, and it is great because it knocks back the opponent, giving me time to either heal or regain my footing so I may go on the counter. But first, I will now show you where to find this arcane technique. I will be showing you from the lecture building second floor, as most players, most hunters on their adventures will come to the second floor first. From the second floor, you will walk across and kill a multitude of these sluggish students. You'll have to take out this giant flame fist guy. Should not be that hard, just strafe around him. He's quite clumsy. Any second now. He'll be dead. And almost there. There we go. Now, from there, you will climb down this ladder to meet with Patches. I'm sorry. I guess you will go here first. A little bit of sightseeing. Anyways, you will come to this ladder and descend downward. Once you descend here, you will find Patches on the door. Yes, that is Patches. I don't care what anybody says, it's Patches. Now, once you open this door, you are going to exit into the main hall. Excuse me, I seem to be a little lost. It's been a while since I've been to the school. Nope, wrong hallway. What you're going to do is you're going to want to go into one lecture hall and find a corpse. Ah, there we go. Is this it? Nope, this is not it. This is the exit. Either way, you will come into this lecture hall, and you will find a corpse in a chair. The door on the far side is actually how you will get in here. But on this corpse will be a key to the main lecture hall. Once you grab the key, you will head out the way I came in. Once you exit there, you will come to a set of doors that were previously locked before. You will use the lecture hall key to unlock these doors. In here are a bunch of slug students. Nasty, nasty critters. You will proceed to run past them, and in this room will be a chest with the Augur of Ebretias. Now, I'm not going to stay around and get my ass kicked, so I will see you guys in the Child's Dungeons. Peace. Now that we're here in the Child's Dungeons, I will show you how to use the Augur of Ebretias. The Augur of Ebretias is best used in mid-combo to throw back your opponent. If you find yourself trading hits, it's definitely best to use it then. As demonstrated, it can be comboed with regular melee attacks. But I will show you what it looks like in mid-combat. Moving on to the next technique. The next technique is the choir bell. Not one that is acquired by many, for it is guarded rather heavily by a frenzy beast. It is definitely a harder one to get. But the choir bell requires 15 arcane, 8 quicksilver bullets, and an S scaling in arcane. As I said, the 15 arcane requirement is a post patch. So the 20 you see here is not what the choir bell actually requires. Now, what this essentially does is it's not used in PvP, but in PvE. What this can do is it will heal your cooperators. You find this in Murgo's Loft after defeating Mikolash Cage, or I'm sorry, Mikolash, host of the Nightmare. Old habits. From Murgo's Loft, you will proceed to, well, leave here. You will come to this elevator and descend. About halfway down, you will jump through a secret window. Note, this is actually a great way to farm gems if you do not wish to do chalice dungeons. These creatures can rather frequently drop some pretty powerful gems, but for now, I will proceed to simply just run past them. That was the choir bell. Whoops. Alright. After making it past these assholes, you will proceed to continue to run, where you drop the Mother Brain, which can also grant you the Blood Rock, in case you did not know. That's the lever to drop the Mother Brain. Now down here is where you will find the choir bell, and it's so difficult to get. Across the way is a chest. That is where the choir bell is. I will not be going over there because this frenzy creature was bad enough to deal with in the first place. Now, I will show you using my jolly cooperators, Adi and Scaly Bones. We will proceed up, and they will take some hefty damage, and I will show you how the choir bell works. Gentlemen, to the Batcave. Why are we stalling? Okay, there we go. God, freaking A. Okay. As I said, we will come up, and my cooperators will take damage from the Shadows of Yharnam. Okay, he seems to be killing that one. There you go. Take the damage. Okay, now that he's dead, I will demonstrate how the choir bell works. Give it a simple ring-a-ding-ding, and you can heal your cooperators. It actually heals them pretty nicely. I just healed Adi from below 50% all the way to 100% health. Quite useful. But moving on to the next arcane technique. The next arcane technique is a Call Beyond. It is arguably the most powerful and the most useless of the arcane techniques, mainly because this arcane technique relies on RNG, so to say. You can hit for nothing, and you can hit as high as 800, which I have done. Or, if you're damn lucky, you can hit for over 1,000, practically killing anyone who stands in front of you. The Augur requires 40 Arcane, 8 Quicksilver bullets, and an S scaling. Augur is the most demanding of the techniques, simply because it is the most powerful. Essentially what it is you break this slug and cause a star explosion. Simply put, what Mikolash, host of the Nightmare, uses to kill many people again and again and again, aggravating them to no freaking end. You find this technique in the Upper Cathedral Ward, actually. If you don't know how to get to the Upper Cathedral Ward, I suggest you go ahead and look that up. But you find this technique after defeating the Celestial Emissary boss. Once you defeat the Celestial Emissary boss in this area, there will be a window in front of you. Now, most people may or may not know this, but the window is actually breakable environment. You will proceed to break the window, like that. Imagine smash glass. And then you'll jump down. Ignoring the orphan demon baby, you will run along the right, and you will see a hanging corpse with a call beyond attached to it. I will now show you how effective and ineffective this can be in the Chalice dungeons. Alright. My cooperator slash adversary, Scaly Bones, has agreed to take a straight up hit, and then I will try to hit him in mid-combat. The straight up hit will show a pretty good amount of damage potential it can do. Probably not high, probably not low, but somewhere in the middle. Alright. This is probably going to hurt him a lot more than me. Now, let us demonstrate. $581 damage. That is not bad. That is actually really freaking good. Now, I will attempt to hit Scaly in mid-combat. What? Okay, I don't remember this part. But I will. Moving on. I will now attempt to hit Scaly in mid-combat. Son of a bitch. And warning, when you cast it, you do not have an invincibility frame. You can be knocked out of it. 92. That was really low. And right here. Oh, whoops. Never mind. 382. Not sure what the hell happened. But we're going to try and demonstrate again. Please forgive me, we're expecting technical difficulties. Beep. Anyways, coming back now. Scaly will demonstrate how this arcane technique can easily be dodged by the simple maneuver of strafing forward. Scaly, you're killing me here. Scaly, you're killing me. Okay, let's try this again. He will now demonstrate how you can avoid this arcane technique by simply strafing forward. There. That was a pain in the ass. Forgive me. This is my first big video, and I'm nervous. And technical difficulties. But fuck you. Moving on to the final arcane technique. Beep. I don't fucking know, okay? I'm killing time here. I tried taking this seriously, but I couldn't. The last arcane technique is Messenger's Gift. Messenger's Gift is essentially Chameleon, which is actually quite useful until everybody figures out that you are this thing. But either way, it is the best for trolls, hiding from an invader if they're stupid, and multiple other things. Messenger's Gift is a arcane technique that requires 10 arcane, 1 quicksilver bullet, and has 0 scaling. This is one of my absolute favorites. It's in my top 5 of the arcane techniques because it's just fun to mess with an invader who is just scrambling around looking for me, thinking I am hiding under a blue elixir. Now, you will find this arcane technique in the Nightmare Frontier. Now, when you go there, I suggest packing antidotes and sedatives. Now that we're here, I have this video sped up, so please pay attention, because I'll only be doing this once. This is the last arcane technique of the video. I will not be showing how to use it because it is really self-explanatory. It turns you into a messenger. It's chameleon. I'm pretty sure I don't need to explain how chameleon works. So ladies and gentlemen, if you have enjoyed this video, please remember to give it a like. And share it to all of the aspiring scholars out there who wish to become the best. I am King Life Drain, and until the next video, keep your blades sharp and your wits even sharper. Because I'd hate to see you turn into a beast out there.